Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are celebrating this day and also Ash Wednesday with people that make you feel like sunshine. That's what's most important. I posted a photo of my Valentine, Sadie. I have 3 Valentines. Today, I wanted to talk to you about my guests on this week's Faith and Freedom show on Real America's Voice. We just filmed it. So moving, unbelievable. You're not going to want to miss this Sunday's Faith and Freedom show. You can watch it at RealAmericasVoice.com. And excuse me, even if you can't make it Sunday because you're in church, you can go back like right now, right when we're done with this, you can go to RealAmericasVoice.com and you can watch the other shows that I've done, all the other guests I've interviewed. It's powerful. I'm just saying, super powerful. I hope you guys can join me Sunday. Meantime, it's tea time. Happy tea time. I hope you guys are doing great. Write in the comment section where you're watching from. I'm going to read a Bible verse to you today that I think is very appropriate. I wanted to ask you a question, what your thoughts are about it. So make sure you write in the comment section where in the world you are watching from. Hey, Sean, Pat, Hart. You're very kind comments. I really appreciate that. Happy Valentine's Day. Yes, from Macomb. Hey, Vern, Macomb, Michigan. So, Vern from Macomb, Michigan. Did you know, I think I told you this before, I was on the Macomb Marlins YMCA swim team. And when I was, gosh, I don't know how old I was. My girls' swim team, we actually had an exhibition against the Russian girls swim team, and guess who won? Then and also we won state championship. And then when I went to Eisenhower High School, when I was a junior, our swim team, our girls swim team won state championship too. So it was for the relay, the freestyle relay. All that said, I was able to interview Riley Gaines today, and that interview is going to be airing on my Faith and Freedom show on Sunday on Real America's Voice, Sunday 10 a.m. Eastern on RealAmericasVoice.com. And again, you can go back and you could look at all the other interviews I've done. If you can't watch it in person Sunday, you can watch it later that day. Very emotional. It's quite shocking that we are even having this conversation now, but she talked about having something in common with her, and that's swimming. When you're that competitive on that high of a level as she is, I never made it that far, but even to where I made it, you work hours, days, weeks, months, years to shave off tenths of a second or hundredths of a second. And if you don't know who Riley Gaines is, she was forced. I know you could say that she didn't have to, but she competed against a transgender swimmer, Leah Thomas. And what she was forced to do, she talks about this in the interview, is now get this. Imagine you have a young daughter, okay? Young daughter, a teenager, and they're forced to change in a locker room with a biological man. How would that make you feel? That would not sit very well with me if that was my kid. And so we talk about that. We talk about how she felt, and she testified in front of the Senate and some of the things that she's doing now. And why is she the only one speaking out? And she talked about how there's so much pressure. Even the coach who did stand up for her got fired. It's just unbelievable. Also, on my show, Faith and Freedom. Ooh, okay, Jason, I see from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm watching the comments, Tina. So I'm not just getting distracted. I'm watching comments. I'm trying to monitor them. Tina, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. But once in a while, Tina will say, you're all over the place. Well, this comment caught my eye because Riley Gaines did a speech at San Francisco State University. And she was, if you remember, this was in the news, I think it was a year ago. She was barricaded after her speech, forced to, basically, she was held captive. She was spit on, she was punched for being able to have freedom of speech. Last time I checked, when I was growing up, there were 3 channels, 2, 4, and 7, ABC, NBC, CBS. And if you didn't like what was on TV, you got up, you walked over to the television, remember the rabbit ears, put the tinfoil on the top, and you turned the channel. How did we get to this place where we can't speak? If I think you're going to be healthier by eating an apple a day, pretty soon we're not going to be able to say that. It's just blowing my mind. Just blowing my mind. Speaking of mind blown, okay, Tina, I am all over the board because I saw your comment. Loved your interview with Ron Dugai. It was a great interview. It was cute because, and that's on my Real America's Voice show called Faith and Freedom. And once again, if you missed my interview with Sarah Palin and Ron Dugai, who is a former NHL hockey star and looks an awful lot like Andy Gibb. Who remembers Andy Gibb? Write in the comment section. I may or may not have had a crush on Andy Gibb. But nice guy, Ron Dugai. Ron and Sarah are dating, and Sarah was scheduled to be on my Faith and Freedom show. I'm so blessed that I just feel so grateful that, number one, I have a platform where I can say anything I want. I have the freedom of speech. But number two, I get such amazing guests. So Sarah was scheduled to be on my podcast, and we know her. We taught her how to shoot a bow and arrow for the first time, which was interesting. That was a couple of years ago. And she said, how about if I just drive up? I'm down the road in Texas. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So we ended up going into a local studio where we could accommodate all of us, Ron and Sarah and Ted and I. And we had a great conversation. Again, if you missed that, you can go to RealAmericasVoice.com and look up shows on the drop-down menu. Go to Faith and Freedom with Shemaine, and you could look at that interview. Now, I also have to tell you, on this week's Faith and Freedom show, I also have Juan O'Savin, who was just leaving Antarctica. I don't want to get into too much of a discussion. He doesn't talk about what he was doing in Antarctica, but he talks about a lot of other things. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll be very intrigued. For those of you who are awake, who get it, you'll understand and you'll appreciate this interview with Juan. Also, Randal Reeder, who is an actor, producer. He was in the Deadpool movies, all of the franchises, and he's been in a few others. And he's a friend of mine. And I know if you see him, you're going to go, oh yeah, that guy. He's got a really interesting story. He has been going, okay, work with me here. He has been going into bars Sunday afternoons at 2:00 and preaching. If you think about it, brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. So this is how we get to people who might never have a chance to hear the gospel, might not have a chance to be prayed over, might not ever have a chance to hear God's word, and might be intrigued just enough to open the Bible. Okay, on that note, glasses. Guess what? I told you yesterday or the day before, I am getting new glasses. I got my eyes checked in Vail, and it's not good. Okay. So anyways, I can see right now. I want to read to you, and this is from the One Year Bible, and I have many different Bibles. People ask me. This is Jeremiah 51:33. So I asked Pastor Anthony his comment on this, and I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. So Jeremiah 51:33, it says, "This is what the Lord of heaven's armies, the God of Israel, says. Babylon is like wheat on a threshing floor, about to be trampled. In just a little while, her harvest will begin." And I asked Pastor Anthony, is the U.S. Babylon? What do you think? Write in the comment section. Mind blown. And then I have to end with this. In Jeremiah 51:46, it says, "But do not panic. Don't be afraid when you hear the first rumor of approaching forces, for rumors will keep coming year by year." So Alyssa Locke says, possibly, could be. Barb says yes. It's very interesting to me when I read the Bible now. It's just like, what? Mind blown. They don't have mind blown emojis on here, do they? I don't see any. All right, guys, I just want to share those things with you. Going to be a short video today, but thank you so much for being here. Please, please, please watch my Faith in Freedom show on Real America's Voice. Go to RealAmericasVoice.com and click on the drop-down menu. Look for Faith and Freedom with Shemaine. I'm severely shadow banned, and I understand that the algorithms are changing even more. And very soon, we're not even going to be able to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We're not going to. So I feel called to share the Bible with you. I'm learning as every day goes by. I'm learning more and more about it. If this is something that resonates with you, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing it, just so that we can get the message out, the word out. Like I said about Randal, there might not be people who ever get a chance to hear just a couple of quick verses. And I'm so glad that I have a platform that I can do that. Check out my Faith and Freedom show every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, but don't miss it this Sunday. Don't miss it. If you are in church, I understand. You can go back and watch it afterwards, but please check it out. I have amazing, yes, Joseph Z, prophetic preaching, yeah. And Pastor Anthony Thomas from Tip of the Spear Church. Amazing, amazing preaching. I wish I could listen to that every day. Well, I can, but just going to, he's kicked off YouTube, so he's now on Rumble, like I am here. All right, guys, have a great day. Make it a great day. Do something healthy and happy for you today. Don't forget, I have to share something with you because I promised I would. People have been asking me, what is, okay. I post a lot of things, if you don't know, about toxicity, and my book right there, it's called Killer House, but there's a short documentary available on killerhouse.org. And that book is available on Amazon. In that book, I write how to recognize, remediate, and recover from toxic mold to feeling whole. And it's not easy. It's not a one-stop shop. It's not a one size fits all. And it's something that I deal with. I was traveling recently. I deal with it all the time. It's one of the reasons I don't like to travel anymore. Not only does the jet fuel not knock me out completely, but I feel headachy. I feel a lot of pressure. And of course, altitude. I talked about we were skiing, and the altitude really gets me. I can't sleep at all. And so I also have been getting a lot of comments on, what kind of laundry soap do you use? What kind of cleaning products do you use? What kind of face cream do you use? It's all right here at rowcasaorganics.com. Please, 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 please don't use scented laundry soap. If you have one of those laundry soaps that says fresh, clean scent, fresh mountain air, it's not fresh. and it's not from the mountains. It's toxic. And I have been using organics. It's the only serum that I use on my face. The body butter is amazing. They have so many products, and I bought a huge box. Ted's like, where? Hey, it's my Valentine's present to myself. He did get me flowers, so I will say. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Thanks so much for being here.